Hi, my name is Bill Windsor, and I'm a candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives from Georgia's 6th Congressional District. I'm an independent candidate. That means I will not be a part of partisan politics, dishonesty, corruption, favoritism, bias practiced by many Democrats and Republicans. I will always do what I believe to be right, and I will answer to no one but my constituents. While most candidates like to make dozens of promises about what they'll do if elected, I'm going to make just two. The first is, I promise to be honest at all times while working as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Second, I promise to uphold the fundamental rights that we were all granted by our forefathers under the Constitution and Bill of Rights. And I've gone a step further. Rather than simply make these promises to you, I've signed a contract with the citizens of the United States in which I agree to these to always do these things. And should anyone feel that I have violated that contract, they can bring charges before a grand jury. And if a grand jury feels that I have violated the contract, I will resign and I'll never hold any elected or employed government position again for the rest of my life. I'm that serious about what I say is what I'm going to do. This probably makes me the only truly accountable candidate that's ever existed. You will have the power to remove me from office if I don't do the job that I've promised to do. We should have that with all of our elected officials, but we don't. But you'll have it with me. You know, we live in a time when the answer from the people in Washington is seemingly to spend more and give us bigger government. Our national debt is just ridiculous. The cost of running our government's ridiculous. If the members of the House of Representatives and Senate were employees of a corporation, they'd all have long since been fired. You can't operate a business, and you shouldn't operate a company by continually borrowing and mortgaging the future of ourselves and our children and our grandchildren. But that's what's being done. So I have a pretty simple platform that I'll be sharing in a video on this site, but it starts with let's do things that make sense. If we don't have money, let's not spend it. There's huge waste in government, and I will be a lightning rod for trying to identify that waste and at least bring it to the attention of the public. You know, let's face it, as one of the only independents in Congress, I'm not going to have very much power, but I'm going to have a voice, and as a representative, my voice is going to be very loud. One of the things that members of the House have the power to do is to investigate corruption in government and to implement impeachment proceedings against federal judges. And I promise to investigate and to begin impeachment proceedings. It may be one of the biggest things that I do while I'm there. It's something that I can do independently. And I am going to bring the corruption in our government to the attention of the American people. If you're elected as a representative, the mainstream media has to cover what you're doing. So if they cover what I'm doing and what I'm saying, we're going to get this exposed. So in a manner of speaking, this kind of makes me America's candidate. While I'm running to represent the people of Cobb County, Fulton County, and Cherokee County, I also intend to represent people all around the country. I intend to be a voice to try to do my best to participate in saving America by minimizing the corruption and dishonesty that we have in government. I should be going door to door and meeting people and asking for their vote. Instead, I'm hopping in a Jeep and I'm driving to all 50 state capitals. And during this 5-month trip, I will be interviewing and taking testimony from over 600 victims of corruption and dishonesty by government. I'll be presenting this testimony to Congress. Congress hasn't scheduled hearings for this purpose, so I'm going out to do it myself. So in that way, I become more America's candidate. I would ask you to support me. I'm an independent candidate. I'm a write-in candidate. I stand for what you should stand for. We need honest people in government. We need the protection of our fundamental rights. You won't get that with any candidate but me. So I ask you to tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell anybody that Bill Windsor is somebody we need to get elected to Congress. Please go to my website. It's www.votebillwindsor.com, and you'll see more information about what I have to say and what I'll do if elected to the United States House of Representatives. Thank you very much.
Can you assure the American people that there will be no pork barrel spending, none of these earmarks, these bridges to nowhere, these phony deals that are going on, that legislators won't be able to bury stuff for their districts, the stuff that's been so highly publicized?
I can pledge to you that no earmark or any of that, any description you want to make of it, will be in the bill that passes the House.
Flat.
Absolute, flat out.
And you think you got the support? Because, you know, this is the bread and butter for a lot of your members, Democrats and Republicans.
There will be no earmarks in the economic recovery package that passes the House.
Back in the book segment tonight, did you see that? And we begin with Bill Clinton sounding very much like a Republican, kind of.
I personally don't believe we ought to be raising taxes or cutting spending, either one, until we get this economy off the ground. I don't think you can spend or not spend enough to get America back to a full employment economy till we flush that debt. We don't have a lot of resentment against people who are successful. We kind of like it, Americans do. It's one of our best characteristics that if we think someone earned their money fairly, we do not resent their success. Americans lost the fact that whatever you think about this millionaire surcharge, I don't really care because I would pay it, but it won't affect me because I already pay the minimum income because I live in New York. I'll pay more, but it won't solve the problem.